You're watching Financial Markets. Now, let's go into the market as of the close of last week's trading session on Friday. That is 1st of July, the very first day of July. Now, looking at the all-share index, right here on the graph, if you can see, we were below 1,200 marks, and now we are slightly moving a little bit above, and not yet there at 1,012, but 200. But at least we have hit the bottom, and we seem to be on an upward trend. Definitely, this is good, results from last week's trading, and mainly it has been due to the Kenyan stocks. Literally looking at the top 4 gainers for the day, that is the close of Friday. They were East African breweries. Nation Media, of course, East African breweries led them after a very long time of losing on the markets, with prices going to as low as 3,400 and 300, somewhere there, by the start of last week. Then now we are seeing it at 4,000, back to the 4,000 mark, meaning it moved quite fast on Friday upwards. To about 5.99% appreciation, and that contributed to the index as well, going up a little bit. Another gainer was Nation Media Group, still cross-listed from Kenya, and he also moved up by about 5.28%. Down to also Equity Bank. Equity Bank also moved up by about 1.9%. These are all Kenyan stocks, and this is the advantage of being a multiple, exchange with various cross listings, which helps in case your listings are not doing well. Probably the listings elsewhere could do good, and the index could help serve the exchange. So we're looking at the gainers here, and many of them are from Kenya, which is a very, very, very promising thing there to watch over. Then KCP also was another gainer from Kenya as well, at 1.77% appreciation. Now that and more contributed to the index going up a little bit. Not actually very little this time, depending on what you think, but according to how the trends have been, with the market slightly going up and down by several 0.0 points, it went up by 13.61 points, which was a 1.18% appreciation. That is quite something for you if you have been following the Ugandan market, honestly, in the past few days. Now, the index, the all-share index, is kind of peering into the 1,200 mark, and it is still below that mark at the moment. But it's quite promising, and we can see our lowest about the beginning of last week, when we hit up as low as 1,100 points. That was one of our very, very, very low points last week. And looking back, we've been before above the 1,400 mark in November 2021, which we crossed downwards into below the 1,400. Went back a little bit in January, between December 2021 and January 2022, but still came down in February 2022 below the 1,400 mark. And definitely on a certain day between March and May, there was a shoot up in points to over 1,600. But that did not last, and it came down again below the 1,400 mark of course, between around April to May, between April and May. And then definitely we see from April to May, there was still a downward trend when it comes to the index, and it dropped to as low as 1,200 at the beginning of June. That is the beginning of last month. And it hit 1,200, went up a little bit, and came below the 1,200 mark at the end of June, where we have been going downwards since then until now, as we see July 4th, July 1st, we went up a little bit. That is the trend we're currently witnessing on the market in terms of the index. But on the losing side, we had some losers, four in fact in number, and three of them are cross-listed. One is a domestic company. The top loser, or the bottom loser, for that matter, was Centum. Centum losing by as much as 2.47% compared to the previous day of trading. Centum now currently, by the close of the market, on Friday, was trading at 309.98. And if you remember, Centum investment came from 3,300 at the beginning of the year, now down to 3,009 at the moment. And definitely that is a significant drop. But these are opportunities for the buyers. The initial people who want to buy shares for the very first time, here are the opportunities. Centum investment has lost value by 2.47%, so you can buy there. MTN Uganda has also lost by 1.73% to about 175.01, and definitely it's also creating an opportunity there for its investors. Kenya Airways has depreciated by 0.27% and has depreciated by 0.27% as well. Kenya Airways trades at 121.89 by the close of that market. Jubilee Holdings was trading at 7,797.13. That is the top gainers and the bottom losers for you. But of course, the Uganda Security Exchange has several listings, and equities are just one of them. There are treasury bonds, treasury bills, and corporate bonds as well. But let's look at the listings of the equities now, looking at all the listed equities on the Uganda Security Exchange main board. British American Tobacco there leading in the highest, with the highest share price, therefore about a share going for about 15,000. It hasn't had any volumes traded, neither has it changed in price. And Bank of Baroda, Uganda, significantly kind of dropped from 85 at the beginning of the year, and it trades at 80 and has been trading that way for the past couple of weeks, 2 or 3, at 80 cents. There was no volume traded on Friday, and neither was there any changes in price on the same day. Significant though to note about Bank of Baroda is the fact that they have closed one of their subsidiaries, which is Baroda Capitals. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, Baroda Capitals, which has been the brokerage firm under the institution, and they have closed it definitely due to some financial reasons and other reasons probably that we shall look into later on in the news updates. But for now, you just have to understand that Bank of Baroda closed the market at 80 cents, and they declared, by the way, a dividend of 25 billion Uganda shillings worth for every not for every shareholder, for all their shareholders. And they will be holding their annual general meeting on the 26th of August this very year to talk about issues of approval and definitely look into the financial results for the subsequent for the year 2021, 2020, so 2022. So now that is Bank of Baroda for you. Then Centum Investment, as I said, he was the biggest loser yesterday, and he lost by 7.84 cents Uganda shillings to a price of 309.98 by the close of the markets at 1 p.m. on Friday. And that is the price as per the closing of the market for Centum Investment Company. Remember, Centum Investment Company is an investment company, like you hear the name, that invests in several things in return for its investors. And definitely it has been, of course, facing some issues. For example, when it declared a dividend and then pulled out on the same and did not issue dividends, quite many shareholders were very fanatic and frantic and tried to actually liquidate from the company and invest elsewhere. But currently trading at 309.98 on the Uganda Security Exchange, you can access yourself one share from Centum Investment at just 309. Cipla Quality Chemicals was trading at 69 cents on Friday, and there was no volume traded on the same day, and neither was there any changes in the prices of Cipla Quality Chemicals. Then DFCU Bank, that is the Development Finance Company of Uganda, 550 is the trading price at the close of the markets or the trading session that day. There was no volume as well traded at DFCU Bank, and there was no change as well in prices. East African Breweries Limited was the big boy on the market, and he went up by a whooping 228.53 cents. Ugandan shillings. Now, by the close of the market, he was trading at 4,041.73 Uganda shillings. That is East African Breweries. Exactly how the stock market works. If you had bought shares in East African Breweries 2 weeks ago, they were trading at about 3,700 or 3,600, 3,500, between those ranges. Now, by the close of the markets on Friday, you could trade one share at 4,041, which is about 500, 400, 300, appreciation in value. This is exactly the beauty of the stock market. Today, companies doing bad, the next day it's not. So you have to buy whenever stocks are going down. So already East African Breweries is creating opportunities for investors there who bought shares last week, and you can now sell at higher prices. Of course, we don't know right now at the moment. The market is open and trading is being done. So these prices could change, and they could be in favor or they may not be in favor of the stock market clients as well there. But that is East African Breweries Limited, cross-listed, of course, from Kenya. And we see it appreciating. We will see as well on the Nairobi market to see whether it did well as well. Now, the Equity Bank Limited is another institution that's listed here, and it also was among the top gainers at 23.73 cents appreciation in price, and closing the market with 1,269.82. That is East Equity Bank Limited for you. There, with of course its presence across East Africa. It's one of the prominent banking institutions that are bred and of course born in Kenya, and of course now it's expanding its wings to several African countries, including Uganda, it's including Tanzania and DRC mostly recently as well. Jubilee Holdings Limited then also was not a gain actually. He was a loser on the market, losing by about 20.82 cents to a price of 7,797.13. And Kenya 3 cents up depreciation in price and trading at 121.89 shillings. Down to KCB, that is Kenya Commercial Bank, was a gainer at 20.74 cents appreciation in price, and he closed the market with a price of 1,195.03. MTN Uganda was a loser, losing by about 3.08 cents, and he traded at 175.01 at the close of the market, and he traded some good volume, I think the highest volume on the day, at 23,600 shares that were traded on the market just of Friday. National Insurance Corporation at 6.2 cents is one of also the listings that didn't do anything on the market on Friday. No volume was traded, no change or movement in price. Then Nation Media Group was a gainer, the second top gainer, at 27.27 cents appreciation to trade at the close of the market with 544.21. Then New Vision Printing and Publishing Company at 160 Ugandan shillings did not trade any volumes, and neither did it have any movements in price as well. Stanbic Bank Limited trading at 22 cents, traded a volume of 10,000 shares. That's worth 22 cents each, which gives about 220,000 shillings. And there was no change in price for Stanbic Bank. Uganda Clays Limited traded at 19 cents and didn't have any volumes traded, and change in price was zero as well. Umeme at 239.01 did not also have any significant changes there in prices, but as well did not actually trade much on the market. Now, the summary for the day's trading. By the close of the trading session for the weekday Friday, July 1st, 2022, the Uganda Security Exchange had a total of 33,600 shares, corresponding to a market value of 4,350,000 shillings that was traded. Compared with the previous trading day, that is the 30th of June 2022, the data shows 84% decline in turnover. Of course, that's not a good thing. Turnover reduced by 84%. That's a huge decline in turnover, meaning the market wasn't so active on Friday. And that's why I'm encouraging you to get your phone and start trading and make our market very active. Please make sure that you also get investment advice from a stockbroker if you need to before you can get started. But please get started and increase our turnover. So we have quite some good things to appreciate on our market as well. The current market capitalization of the Uganda Securities Exchange is actually 20 trillion, which has dropped from 21.9. Actually, it has gone up a little bit from 19 point something 8 trillion to about 20 trillion in about a week's time. So yeah, not bad for the exchange. In aggregate, only two equities participated in trading, ending with 4 gainers and 4 losers. And the East African Breweries Limited led the gainers with a 5.99% share appreciation, closing at 4,041.78 shillings per share. He was followed by Nation Media Group at 5.28% appreciation, and Equity Bank at 1.9% appreciation, KCB Group at 1.77% appreciation. On the losing side, we had Centum Investment Company, who came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 2.47% at 309.98 shillings per share. He was followed by MTN at 1.73% and Kenya Airways at 0.27%. Jubilee Holdings came out at 0.27% decline in prices. MTN and Stanbic Uganda were the only companies that recorded trading volumes, and MTN recorded trading volume of 23,600, and that of Stanbic was 10,000 shares that were traded on the market. Now, regarding the performance of the Uganda Security Exchange market indices, the benchmark index, the Uganda Security Exchange All Share Index, increased by 13.61 points, and that's the 1.18% appreciation. And definitely this closed the market with the index with about 1,163.717 points. Remember, this is attributed to the Kenyan companies mostly that saw an appreciation in price and a little volume that was traded there on the MTN and Stanbic bank companies on the market. The Uganda Security Exchange Local Company Index, the LCI, on the other hand, decreased. So you can see most of our local companies didn't do that well, and their index decreased by 0.97% to 269.29 points at the end of the day's trading, making it a 1-week loss for the local company index of about 1.55% and a 4-week loss of 4.82% and a year-to-date loss of 17.05%. That is data from the Uganda Securities Exchange. Remember, mark you have an opportunity with OTEX to invest using your mobile phone by simply dialing *292#. And I'm reminding you this because it's important that you know exactly the conveniences that have been brought on board by companies, innovative companies like OTEX East Africa, and they are here to help you trade directly on the exchange using your small mobile phone or your smartphone without need to access the internet. On the other hand, you can also use your MTN line and dial *165# to access your mobile money, choose financial services, go into the Uganda Security Exchange, and the Uganda Security Exchange will give you a stockbroker who will actually be able to trade on your behalf and open for you a Securities Central Depository account. This account works just like the bank account, just that for it, it deals with shares, and you actually have your shares kept there. Whenever you buy shares, it's credited, and whenever you sell your shares, it is debited. And when you have this account, the stockbroker will start trading on your own after, of course, listening from you and getting to know your risk appetite, getting to know your mode of business, your likes and dislikes, because definitely we are different people, and I may want to invest in a certain company that another person may not find interesting to invest in, despite the fact that the company could be making good money or could promise good returns. So definitely the stockbroker will be listening to you and they will be taking your advice, but they'll also advise you accordingly, because the aim here is to have some return, and therefore we need people who have been in the game and can actually outsmart some of the markets and be able to pinpoint on where the opportunities are and see that they help you grasp those opportunities. And when you do that, definitely you will have joined the long list of people who are trading on the exchange in these companies that we have talked about. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter, on our conversations, the hashtag is Financial Markets, or you can visit our handle, that is at Smart24. Leave a comment, leave a question, anything you would love to know about the stock market in Uganda, anything you have as a question that needs to be answered. We can get experts on the show who come once in a while to give you the right answers, but we can as well respond accordingly in case we have to do that. Of course, we are about 6 minutes away from the hour of 11. We're going into a short break, but when we return, we look at now the Nairobi Securities Exchange. There are two sides of the coin. You have to look at them, and we cannot talk about stock exchanges in East Africa and avoid talking about the Nairobi Stock Exchange, which is the largest stock exchange in East Africa, the oldest as well, but also the most active and diversified market on the East African regional scene. And we will be looking at their index, which has been turbulent over the past couple of days. And looking at it right now, it went up by 4 points. Why? How did it go up? And it's almost reaching the 125 points mark. Definitely more of that to come after the break.